we can take our chance and do it. Okay, let me just close few windows here so I can see everybody. Again, this is my first webinar, so I do my best. All right, so let's move forward. Before I start, anybody wants to say anything and express their feelings or something that...
Are you able to see the questions and everything that everybody's saying?
I'm able to see the questions.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm just making sure.
I'm trying to see if I can expand that window.
Yeah, if you click the little, like one that has a little arrow pointing out, if you click on that, it opens it up by itself. It's a lot easier when you have two screens.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I see it.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, now I see everybody's responses. Okay, so everybody sees a question. Good to hear the soft voice like. Thank you. All right. Now how to unmute all or individuals. Okay, that's probably another window with all the attendees. Let me open it in a separate window also. Yes, I see everybody. I assume I'll just click on the icon and then I'll mute. Oh, wow, so many people.
I think we should unmute people one at a time, like Billy does on the webinars, just so everybody's not talking over each other, so we're not wasting time like trying to talk, you know what I mean? So maybe we could take turns, like, oh, would anybody like to talk about this? And then, you know, somebody can like raise their hand in the chat or like say something, and then, you know, just so it's smooth.
I'm trying to see, again, everybody please bear with me. I just want to make sure that now that I made those icons separate, I lost my chat window. Probably they have view, chat, expand. No, that's not it.
It's the questions little thing, the questions tab.
When I pulled it out of that window to make it independent window, and then I clicked on attendees, that whole window just vanished. Let me see. Let me just get out of the full screen mode. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, it went on the bottom. Okay, I think that's last adjustment, so we should be okay after this. Okay, let's do a 5.
On the GoToWebinar screen, you know how like it has the whole dashboard thing? If you go to view, like the view drop down at the very top, like file options view, you can actually click see if the questions box is like
I got it already. Somehow it was stuck. It was stuck under the attendees, so it was below the screen, below the visual. Now I see it. Okay. Yeah, Billy makes everything easy. I agree. I'm with you. I guess the more you do it, the better you get. Okay, any chance for open chat? I'm sure there is a chance for open chat.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if I can do the open chat here now, so give me a second.
Maybe we should have it completely open, and then if it goes nowhere, then we'll try to mute. But it would be probably a good thing to try.
You mean having open mics for everybody, or just open chat? I think open chat makes sense, but not having everybody on mic.
Open chat is when everybody sees each other's questions and messages?
Yeah, exactly.
I see. Stephanie says she's excited. Thank you so much for doing this. Okay, so she's thanking everybody. Opposite, again, I say thank you. Hey, Eric. Let's roll. Okay, so should we start or wait for the open chat?
You can go ahead and start now. I'm Googling it to see if I can figure. I've never done it before, so go ahead and start, and then you can just read out questions for now.
Okay.
People are saying if it's something that's relatable. If it's just like a yes, you don't need to read it out.
Perfect. All right, just to give again a little introduction on how I position those questions. I try to place them in a chronological order, meaning that first it's basically prospecting, then trying to figure out what the offers are, then actually running some campaigns and questions and challenges that people are facing. So then we don't have to jump from subject to subject, talk about conversions, then talk about how can we reach out to chiropractors and so on. So we go in the chronological order. You might not see your question, or you might see your question combined with somebody else's, because some people were concerned with the same thing. So I just combined or use one of them. So hopefully that will still will provide us the answers. Also, I did not put anybody's names next to questions. I didn't want to put anybody on the spot. So if you want to jump in and at any point you recognize your question and you want to clarify, you're comfortable doing that, just let me know. I will certainly have a chance to go into it much deeper. Okay, Zon says that he's already seen people's chat. Brian will come to that. Also, at the end, we will have basically question answers. If anything we didn't cover, we can certainly discuss those also. Also, we were told that we have about an hour, a little over an hour to do it. So we're going to try to answer all of the questions. And if we're not going to get certain answers, we'll just move next and ultimately come back to it again. At least with this first session, we're going to get to know each other much better. We'll be more connected and know what everyone is doing and who to go to get additional questions, response. Okay, I'm also reading some of the posts here. Okay, so let's start. Anybody wants to say anything before we start? Nope. Okay. All right, so let's start. The first question was asked, how to stay motivated and have faith with what I'm doing and make sure that it works, right? So again, anybody feels to volunteer to throw an answer, I'll mute you, and somebody who bypassed the stage already, if you want to tell how you did it and what was your motivation, how you kept yourself going. Okay, I'm unmuting somebody. It's YC Lawson.
Oh,
I hope I pronounced it right.
yeah, I'm so sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I'm sure everybody can.
Awesome.
Yes,
I would
yes.
just say just celebrate your small wins, as small and as as small as you may think they are. Just celebrate your small wins, and I think that's a really great way to stay motivated.
This
And
is
keep sending out I'm sorry. Go ahead.
somebody's asking who's speaking.
This is YC Lawson.
Yes. All right, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, just celebrate your small wins, and also keep sending out those prospect videos.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Perfect. Thank you, YC.
Uh-huh.
I'll unmute another person here. It's Kipling Lee. Can you hear us?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, okay, great. I just started, and the reason I started was it seems to be working for a whole lot of people. So if it works for that many people, it seems as though if you follow the plan and put in the work, it'll work for you as well.
Exactly. Just to add, because I don't see anybody volunteering to add additional stuff, I'll tell you my personal thing, how I'm driven. I'm very driven by interviews that Billie Jean does. It's important to see those. You see real people with kids, with financial struggles. By seeing that they were able to pull it off, that gives me a lot of strength and knowledge that, you know what, it's just a matter of time. Ultimately, we'll learn how to crawl, how to walk, and eventually we will run with this. I have something, all right? Let me unmute.
Okay, can you hear me?
Here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, go for it. Oh, you're breaking up now. Yeah, you sound like a robot. We're not able to understand any of that. Can you dial in through the phone or it?
Yeah, it looks like he's switching over to phone, so.
Switching over, okay. By the way, thank you for helping me with muting and unmuting.
Yep,
You're much faster.
And I'm trying to respond to all the comments with a period, so at least it shows in everybody's chat, so everybody knows exactly what's going on. I'm not doing that for any like the yeses or nos and stuff like that, but let's unmute Stephanie.
Perfect. Stephanie.
Hey,
Stephanie on.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so mine's a little more unconventional. And while I'm not a huge Katy Perry fan, this song that I'm posting in the chat has become kind of like my anthem whenever I wake up and I feel like, what am I doing? Is this really going to work? Like, can I really do this? I play the song really, really loud, and it's not everybody's cup of tea, but the words have been pretty awesome, and just right along the lines of what I just kind of need to remind myself of is that if you put in the work, like somebody said in the chat, you know, this is a great service, and if you put in the work and do a good job, then you're going to be able to do a good job for any of your clients. So it's just a matter of sticking to it. Like, what is it, Joel Cowan? I'm not for sure if I'm saying his name right because I'm doing it off of memory. But I mean, I think he said that he was sending out like 100 emails a day, and also too, Trisha was sending out a crazy amount of emails. And I mean, just blows my mind, and I feel like I just got, I'm sorry, it wasn't Trisha, it was Tracy. I feel like I just got really lucky and so blessed because the first person that took me up on mine was really connected. So I did a great job for him, and then it's been word of mouth ever since, and all it takes is that one, and it can blow up for you. So anyway, I put my little link in there for that song I listened to. So if you're feeling defeated, you know, find your anthem or whatever it is that will help kind of kick you out of that funk, because if you put in the work, it's going to happen.
Thank you, Stephanie. I kind of do similar thing. I will also share. I will post it later on Facebook. It's actually a group called Fearless Motivation. If you search for them, they have some crazy songs that they put together. It's not really songs. They speak the words, but very motivational. If you listen to the words, you get really inspired. I actually take it everywhere with me. I go to the gym, everywhere. It's eventually you start to speak like them, you think like them, and there's no stopping. Yes, I will. Let me post it here. It's basically Fearless Motivation. Fearless. I'll have to put it in chat. Can somebody type that? Fearless Motivation. Search it on YouTube. You will get some taste of what they have. And if anybody needs MP3s, I can gladly send you those. I have maybe like 30 or 40 of those.
I can always add that as a resource for this in the camp module too, just to make it easy.
Okay. Yeah, motivation is important. And again, if anybody out there could do it, that means we can do it too. It's just a matter of time. So just keep pushing forward. The system is there, it works. So take advantage.
All right, I'll unmute you right now, Ty. Sorry, Ty looks like he came back.
Okay, I went to the next one. Here's the next one. It's also on the same topic. I've been plugging away at this and feel a little disheartened that I don't have sales yet. I believe the stuff works, just got to find my win. In the past, I heard replies like, I do my own ads, I don't have any marketing budget. Now, from recent efforts, there were no responses yet. Just sent those videos out a few days ago. Not one of the Kairos have even glanced at the link I sent. No plays on my Vista videos, no one visited my sales page. It goes back to what was told by Stephanie. Some of us actually sent 100 sales requests. So question is to us, where are we? What do we do? Did we send out actually 100 a day, at least 20 a day, even 10 a day? Did you call them? Some people asking, did you call them, David? Okay, let me unmute David.
Hey, Baruch, this is David. How are you?
Hi, David.
Did you call them up?
The person who told me that, as I recall, she did call and actually called multiple times, and did not have any luck getting through. And as we'll see in other screens, a bunch of people would be asking, what's the formula? How do you connect with those? So calling is not always that simple to get through, because you gotta go through receptionist. But that person did try to give a call.
So, I mean, to me, it's all about sales, right? I mean, this part isn't as much about advertising. If you're looking just to reach that single person, you know, that owner of the business, and it really takes tenacity. They have systems set up to keep you away from the decision maker. But if you send them an email, just like Billy says, send them an email, send a message through Facebook, send a message to them on LinkedIn, send them a message, you know, through their website, phone call. You know, look, I need to speak with a doctor. I really want to work with him to bring in some new patients for the office. And I'd like to do so for free. So if you, I sent over an email, wanted to make sure that he saw that video that I made just for the doctor. That seems to have been working, but it really takes tenacity, because again, they're trained to keep you away.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. So be persistent, find a way to get in touch with those doctors. I was actually personal experience, like I was actually this morning was willing to travel to the doctor and actually take one of his sessions and speak to him right there. But unfortunately I had to fortunately I had to prepare for this webinar, putting all together, so I never went. So, but next week I will let you know what happened. I'm going in there physically, because that's the only doctor in town that does dinner workshops. So I really want that guy. Let me see who else here.
Ty wanted to jump on the mic. He was the one that was going through a bad area, so let me unlock it for him real quick.
Sure.
Hi, Ty.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay,
sure.
cool. Yeah, no, all I was going to say with the first area was that, you know, we have a pretty amazing group. As Billy always says, we have people from all different facets of life, different levels of skill. And I believe that, you know, Billy and the crew, Alex and everybody else, they do a great job of helping us out. But with all the people that we have in there, just us sharing our stories, sharing our wins, commenting when people, you know, a lot of times you could be, I'm a member of many groups, and sometimes you'll just read something and scroll by. Well, because we are so invested financially in this group, and it's a much smaller group, let's not pass those by. If we see somebody, you know, having a little bit of an issue, take 30 seconds to 45 seconds and comment on that, because that could be the difference between somebody being motivated and inspired to push that extra push when they feel they've been beaten down because the Chiros haven't opened their, you know, their emails or looked at their videos or anything like that. And I think the more we look at each other's wins and celebrate each other, that energy becomes contagious, and we can all borrow from that to keep pushing.
Yes, agree. I'm sure everyone is. Ultimately, we all won. It's in our interest to look at it that way, because if any one of us wins, that and we were part of it in some way, we participated in that. So some might have attitude like, what do I care about that person, I'll figure it out on my own. Okay, good luck. There's only so much one person can do. But together, for sure, it's not always what to do, as I was mentioning earlier also. It's something that what not to do. Why find out the hard way? Thank you. Let me see here. What was going on? Okay, Brian. Let me see, Brian. Okay, Brian. Brian back, are you there? Brian? I have you on both phone and...
I think he was just commenting in the chat. I don't know if he actually wanted to jump on the mic. I think people are saying, like, can I give input on this?
Okay.
Yeah.
So should we just mention what they said? Okay.
Yeah.
Brian was offering to also use LinkedIn as a good resource, because LinkedIn actually gives you opportunity to connect directly with a doctor, and there is nobody in between. I like that resource also, and people are really open on LinkedIn to connect, especially when you know, doctors themselves, they want it. It's hard to get to them. But if they see you and they'll see your what you represent, they're more open to connect with you, especially on LinkedIn. It's a business network, so I like that resource personally.
And I'm personally replying to all the questions that are coming through, so everybody should be seeing everything because I'm doing a send to all. I'm just responding with a period so you guys can see everything that everybody's saying. So I don't even know if you need to read out the questions anymore. Just control the microphone.
Yes. May I please jump on the mic? Okay, Tracy. Tracy. Let's go, Tracy. Tracy, can you hear me? Tracy?
You're unmuted, Tracy.
Oh, can you hear me guys now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
All right, great, thank you. To answer, this question about, getting a win or a yes, we have to keep in mind that it's a numbers game. And, for me personally, before I got one yes, I probably sent out about 300 emails, okay? And some people will reply back and say, no, thank you, and, I'm not interested. And I would just be very nice, and I will reply back and say, well, thank you for replying. I appreciate your time. If you have any colleagues maybe that are not in your area, please feel free to, give them my information, just to be cordial. But it's definitely a numbers game, with cold marketing or email marketing people. So if you're sending out, 10 or 20 or even 30 emails a day and you're not getting a response, then you should double that number. So right now, like, I'm getting maybe a response after every 50 emails. So, that's when the law of averages come into place, right? So I know that if I send out 50 emails now, I'm expecting at least one response. And so I think that's important just to keep in mind, you know, I was frustrated and disheartened too in the beginning, but you just got to keep going. I said, well, what am I doing? It's obviously working, and I just got to double up on those numbers. So don't get discouraged, you know, do it every day, and then figure out in your area that you're working in, like chiropractors, most of them, like here in Chicago, they take a break. So maybe they have a long window from the time that their office is closed. So maybe their office is closed between 12 and 3. And maybe you're sending emails at 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning. Well, of course, the receptionist is going to get those emails. But if you figure out what the best times are in your area, and you can, you know, kind of look at the websites, and you'll know, okay, they close their office at this time and they reopen at this time, that's a good time to send out that email in that vacant space right there, because a lot of times the doctors themselves will open those emails. So you have to test that out, you know, for yourself and for your area that you're working in. But timing is everything. Time is important, just like when you're running an ad and you're saying what days are best to run these ads on because you're getting better results. Do that with your timing. What days are best to send out these emails? What times are best? I send out emails twice a day. I send them out during the day, during that window, and then I send them out in the evening, because a lot of chiropractors go home and they get on their, you know, they look up their emails, they look at personal things, and so they respond. And then last thing, and I'm going to get off because I talk a lot, but if you notice, what I've noticed is a lot of chiropractors were booking appointments with me during what they would call their break period, but then they could never keep those appointments because maybe a client or a patient ran over. So I would simply send them another email: sorry, we missed our appointment time today. I am available in the evenings. So, you know, right now, make yourself available. Don't stick to a 9 to 5 type of mentality. Be flexible so that the doctors can work with you as well. And I've been on calls with doctors at 9 o'clock at night, you know, and, you know, I've won those over. So definitely be flexible, test out the timing, and then double and triple your numbers.
Thank you, Tracy. Tracy, question for you. Somebody's asking here, do you send the emails one at a time, or you actually bought an email list and we're doing a blast, email blast?
So what I do is I was sending them one at a time at first, but now I'm using this program called mixmax.com, okay? And I'm sending them from my Gmail account. So Mixmax integrates with your Gmail account. I've noticed that when I send it from my Tracy at networkingbutterfly.com, I get less opens. But if you send it from kind of like a personal account, then it looks like a person is sending it and not a company. So, you know, test that out, of course, on your own. But just from my experience sending it from my Gmail account, and Mixmax actually allows you to do a mail merging. So, and, you know, I know Billie Jean, you know, has taught us to go get the email address, the website, the name of the company, the offers, and all that. But I kind of like, that was, you know, too slow for me. And so what I do is, you know, I go on Facebook because I know these people have a Facebook account, right? And I go to the page, I search for, you know, chiropractors in my area. I go to the page, I go to the about section. A lot of times they have their email address there. And I just copy the email address and paste it into a spreadsheet. And then I take that spreadsheet and I upload it into Mixmax, just with the emails only. I'm not personalizing anything. That's just me. I'm not getting the doctor's name. I'm just saying, hey, I found you on the internet. You know, I looked at your website. And, you know, the same script that Billie Jean gives us in the email, right? It just makes it a lot faster. It makes it a lot faster. Well, you know what? With Mixmax, it automates it for you, so you don't have to worry about, you know, sending out the 50. It sends it out like it should, so you don't get blacklisted, which is why you want to use something like that. Okay, I hope
Perfect.
that answered it.
For sure. Anybody wants to reflect on what Tracy said? By the way, Tracy, while people are typing, when you get to talk to somebody, do you give the control to them? Meaning, do you tell them that, like you said, thank you for responding, and if you know anybody and so on? Do you actually also tell them that if I don't hear from you, I will follow up with you in a month or so? If your requirements would change, who knows? Do you
No,
do you try to control it still, or you just totally give it up to them?
nope, I don't control it. I'll just leave it there. And then, as long as they don't tell me to take them off of my list, they'll hear from me again anyway.
Okay, I see.
Yes.
Right, people are thankful. I think you can see
You're
those
welcome.
messages. I'm not sure, but yeah, very good insight. Thank you.
Great.
Again, the bottom line is it's a numbers game, as Tracy said. The more you do it, there's more possibilities of hitting your numbers. All right, so anybody, should we go to the next? Hold on, let me see here. Anybody wanted to say something previously? I see here. I'd like to jump on the mic. Okay, Jaha. Let's see here. There you go.
Okay, that was
Hi.
different. I was saying, no, Tracy covered it. And then you were...
She covered it? Okay, I could not hear you, sorry. All right, so we're good then. We're going to the next question.
Oh, I do want to say this. Make sure you have a sales sequence. Like most of us, we have that first email that Billie Jean gave us, but we don't have a sequence where we are following up, or even a sales process where we follow up. Someone mentioned earlier about getting on the phone. You do have to sometimes get on the phone. All of this cannot just be via email. I've sent out, I'm not as fortunate as some of you, but I've sent out over 1,000 emails, and I'm finally getting nibbles on those emails because I'm sending out more in a sequence. So I know how many people I email. I'll go back in a certain amount of time, and Mixmax is great for that. Tracy was totally correct. So I would suggest some of y'all look at that. But Mixmax is very good for allowing you to send out a sequence of emails where now it's like, okay, let me go back in. I've emailed this person. They pop back up to the top of your window, and you can then start sending out second set of emails. Like, okay, I've emailed this person once. Let me email them this next email, so that it's like sequenced instead of you just sending out one email and thinking that's it. A lot of us don't realize it takes about 7 touches for people to say, yes, I want to work with this person. So how are you going to get those 7 touches in? And I've been doing this from, I think, July, the beginning of July till now, and I'm just finally seeing some results. I got 3 doctors that I've been talking to over the last 2 weeks, over 2 weeks, not over, the whole life of this. So the question number 1 about being demotivated, I've been in that space. And then this question here about doing all of this work and not feeling like you're doing anything. Those are some of the tips that I would give, because that's literally what I've had to do, because I've not gotten that first person touch thing. So there you go.
Okay. And I also wanted to add, just not sure if everybody's familiar with the details of how Tracy does it. As I recall from seeing it, she has one generic video that she made, and she sends everybody the same video. She's not doing any custom work or ad preparation or landing pages and then trying to reach out to Cairo. So that's what makes it simpler. It's a numbers game. You're just basically waiting for them to respond. And
But
obviously, go ahead.
on the flip side of that, Baruch, I would say, and this is Jaha, I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself, but on the flip side of that, having some generic elements is great, but if you are not seeing results from that, don't be afraid to, and not the emails, not the pitch video, but your emails. Make your emails more personal. That's what made a difference for me. You have to see what works for you and not just copy paste other people's formula. So Tracy has a method of success. I'm sure you have a method of success, Baruch. Everybody's method of success has to be different. Be willing to test your own stuff out. But for me, I started out with the customized video, and then we moved on to that to the generic video because it was quicker. And then now the emails, where you do specify some elements, like you can look up the doctor's name and put their name in there. Sometimes people respond a little bit better to that. That's what worked for me. So it doesn't always have to be somebody else's method. Can't be copy paste.
Yes. Trial and error. Just trying to see what would respond better.
You can mute me now.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so I'm going to the next question. What is the best targeting for chiropractors for cheapest cost per click? Assumption in this case is there's a campaign to reach out to chiropractors for them actually to be brought to that video page. So instead of sending out emails, in this case, target is to get them through the ad. And the person wanted to know what's the best targeting to get to them, because obviously if targeting is not correct, there's not enough clicks, CTR is low, and as a result, cost per click is going higher and higher. And ultimately, it probably would not make even sense to go anywhere with this. The good side of this, I believe, is that they come to you. It's a different game versus you trying to chase them. Anybody has any input on that? So are people not advertising? Kipling Lee. Okay, let me unmute so you'll ask in person. Can you hear me, Kipling?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes.
I was just curious if people are, it sounded like a lot of people are sending emails. And again, I'm really new to this, so I was really on here trying to gather information. But I was just curious if people were using Facebook to try to acquire clients rather than sending emails to acquire clients, or if they had done that and spent so much money that they found it wasn't effective. That's all.
Well, as I recall, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, the approach to use the Facebook advertising would work really well if you already had a success case study, where if you recall, for example, you brought some results to a chiro, they're so impressed, you got on a call with them and made a video recording where they express the emotions and how much business you brought them, and your pitch eventually would be, you see what I did for this chiropractor, I can do the same for you, therefore sign up. So you would use Facebook advertising to bring chiropractors to that page where they would really see a success case scenario.
And again, I'm just asking questions. I'm really new to this. But couldn't you say on your Facebook ad, the group that I'm working with has had tremendous success with chiropractics. On one of the ads, this happened or that happened, and use our group as a success story to hopefully get a client, because we do have the ads that Billy put together and that are successful. So we know those work. So we've cracked the code. So why couldn't you say that, you know, the group I work with has cracked the code basically and put that into an ad?
I'll unmute some people right now to respond to you, but I will also tell you what happens within the group with me when somebody tried this approach. Because eventually that customer said, okay, I'll work with you, give me some references. I would like to call your references. So now the challenge is, how do you get this reference? Because that chiropractor doesn't know you. The chiropractor knows.
That's fine. You say, you know what, I could give you, if I couldn't give you a reference that would, you know, I could give you references, but what I'd rather do is put together a campaign for you and prove to you that I can make it work. And I'll do that for free. I'll bring you your first clients for free, and then if you like what I do for you, we can work together. How does that sound?
Sounds fine with me. Just gotta try it, see if it's actually gonna work.
Right, that's what somebody said. Then you run the free campaign, but I don't know. It just seems to me if you can get someone to come to you on Facebook, it might be easier than sending out hundreds and hundreds of dry of cold emails. I don't mean cold, but I mean where you don't really have any connection at all. But I also understand that's free, so if you can get your first one that way, well, that's good too.
Well, not really.
I'm not trying to say anyone's doing anything wrong. I'm just asking questions.
Yeah, but see, the person who asked me this question, and some people here would want to know the answers, I assume they would at least entertain that thought, because there's no such good response, and the price per click is just growing, and they're not getting anywhere with that. So not sure. Let's see what else we can get from other users. But good suggestion. For sure, need to give it a try to see what type of response we will get. Let me mute and unmute. I think with okay, Stephanie, you wanna jump in? Stephanie, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I don't think that was me.
You said I think without results, advertising wouldn't be effective.
Yeah. I mean, all the campaigns that I've seen and what I'm understanding from the chiropractors that I'm working with is that they're flooded. I mean, just completely flooded from Facebook, from direct mail, and they're constantly hearing these companies approaching them. And the first chiropractor I worked with, you know, that was one of the first things he said. He was like, you know, I was leery. I thought you were just one of the same, you know, marketing groups trying to reach out to me. I was looking for the gimmick everywhere, and just really doubtful that you could do what you were saying you were going to do. And so, I mean, unless you've got those results, putting out a Facebook ad and putting money behind it, I think that unfortunately you just kind of blend in with everything else they're getting hit with. So it's actually not something that, I mean, I personally, if I was still in that boat, I don't think I would put any money behind an ad to try to run a chiropractors, because they're inundated with all of these people saying, I've got the best marketing solution, I fix this, but unless you've got that testimony to say this is what I've done, then, you know, it's really hard to just get in the door. And I think, I mean, I don't know if you guys are doing this, but I know in my video that I sent to him, my prospecting video, I felt really insecure, and I think that came across. And but he said that's what kind of made him be like, this is a real person that's going to be doing this for me. This isn't a company. So I know I come from working in a place where I had to look super professional. Everything I did had to come across kind of corporate-y. And so it's kind of the opposite. And it's just like what Billie Jean talks about that we have to do for our clients, which is be human. It's the same thing whenever we're trying to get those chiropractors. Let them see that we're an individual, that we're this, we're that, and let them connect with who we are as an individual and know that, hey, I've started my own business. You know, being okay with it, them being the testimony and saying, hey, I'm starting my own business and I need a case study. I'm going to do this for you for free. I've been through this amazing training and I know that I can get great results for you. And I'm telling you, I'm going to do this for you for free. It's a free trial. There are no catches. I will not be asking for your credit card. And just coming across that way, and just I feel like there's so much more credit given to that rather than coming across really professional and like having these really nice videos and just letting them connect with you as a person and not identify you as someone who is one of those agencies that's just trying to get their marketing for in-house.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you, Stephanie. There's some more, some other people. By the way, you've been thankful, and they said it sounds sincere and honest, which I also connect with that. Tracy, let's see what she has to say, and then we'll move to mix. Tracy?
Yes.
Did you want to say something?
Oh God. Okay. What is the best targeting for chiropractors? Is that the question still?
Yes.
Well, I honestly, I don't know. I'm just testing this thing out too. And so Stephanie Blake and Stephanie Beck has been like a great help for me in targeting. And so right now, like, I've done the broad, so like the location plus the 7 miles, and then I'm targeting women only because I tested with men and the clicks are a lot higher and women are responding better. And then I think testing with a video as well as a picture. So it's just a testing game, I guess. Some targeting that I've also tested was back pain and lower back pain and sciatica pain. And so those, the response has been pretty equal to to not using any specific interest in the targeting. But I did test out a bunch of different ads and targets before I started getting results. And so you just got to kind of fill out the audience. I think also too, if you're admin on your customer's page, because a lot of time it's timing as well, right? So if you're an admin on your customer's page and you're targeting to customers or an audience who would like what their services are, you can look at the insights and you can see when is this chiropractor's audience, even if it's a small audience, what is the best times and the times that they're on Facebook, the days that they're on Facebook, and then you can test out your timing and your days as well. So I had to do that. Most of my chiropractors, his people are online in the evening time, like 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock. I get leads all day. And so although I let my ad run, and I'm doing honestly per conversion and not the clicks, I'm trying conversions. I tried that out and that's worked best for me so far, because you only pay for the conversion instead of just clicks. But again, you got to test that out because that may not work for you, and that may not work for my next chiropractor, right? But his audience is mostly in the evening, 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And so that's when, I'm seeing most results. So that's, when I'm turning on my ads, really.
Mm-hmm.
So
Perfect.
targeting is important and timing is important. It needs to go together.
Yes.
Target and timing.
Yes. Thank you, Tracy. By the way, I didn't pause you because this question will come up again with targeting patients, potential patients. In this case, this question is about targeting the chiropractors. When you run ads to get chiropractors as a potential client of yours, not for the patients. But a similar question will be later, so I hope everybody remembers what Tracy said. That's we will see that question again, so hopefully we'll spend less time on it. By the way, I'm looking at time. Looks like we're on question 3, and we have like 18 or 19 questions. So can we move, with everybody's permission, quicker with everything? Because I do want to cover everything. All right, let me unmute Mix. He also wanted to say something. Mix, I hope I pronounce your name right.
And what we can do too is
Oh, yeah, hi.
Yeah, hi.
I was just making my daughter some food. Hi. Yeah, I just wanted to say a couple of pointers. Maybe actually quote Frank Kern, if you guys know him, as he said, the reason somebody doesn't buy from you online is either they don't need what you're selling or they don't trust you, right? So as most of them we know probably need what we're selling, so the only other reason is the trust factor. And well, sometimes if we can't get past those emails and even those custom presentations, and many of us are targeting local businesses, then why don't we just go in person? Well, so I just want to tell you real quick, that's what helped me land a $6,000 a month client a couple months ago, actually last November. Sorry. So I walked into a home care member. Sorry. So I walked into a home care member. Sorry. So I walked into a home care dinosaurs the way they do things. And we agreed on like a $3,000 a month thing for 3 months, and once I delivered, I got him to pay me $6,000 a month for a half a year straight. So that was pretty awesome. So, but that was done in person, and I went, you know, with my face, with my confidence. So this time I wasn't hiding behind the laptop. So maybe, you know, just a suggestion that, you know, we spend so much time creating these presentations. You know, take one of those presentations, or if you don't have the case study yet, just walk into those offices with that confidence, and, you know, people see that you're a real person, and that you're probably, and especially if you're local, right, that you're probably not some scammer and trying to just sell them something else. So that's my suggestion, because then I took a case study that I recorded with this home care agency, and now went to the first, like to the next one. I said, listen, I have this campaign that specifically, you know, generates $11 leads for, you know, HHAs. They know that, you know, it's their language. They already got their attention right away. They said, okay, come. In 10 minutes, I showed it to them. They said, okay, we want it. How much? And you know, closed them almost, waiting to get paid. So I'm back in Brooklyn. I spent a month in San Diego now. Back in Brooklyn, Manhattan, I'm just gonna be riding my bike or walking around places, including those yoga studios and chiropractors, home care agencies, especially home care agencies, because I do have a case study there, a really good one. So just my suggestion is, I guess, if we can get past that trust factor, maybe the way to get past it is just to get up and go. Take that laptop with you and knock on the doors and say, hey, I just wanted to see if you guys wanted to see a case study of me and my partners have done, or I wanted to show you real quick, 10 minutes, in 10 minutes how I could get you more customers, because that's what I do best, and I'm basically show up in person. So that's my 2 cents.
Perfect. Well, everybody connects to different styles, I believe so. But it's good to know there's such an option, especially when you feel you're ready, you know your stuff. You just go in and get it done.
Definitely. I'm also utilizing all 3 ways, you know, sending stuff out and tracing it, and about to put a case study into a campaign. But, you know, and oftentimes I don't feel like walking somewhere, but hey, why not? So I just want to encourage all of you who have thoughts of maybe doing it, go out and try that out as well, because, you know, people can see a real person and maybe connect to you easier in some cases, and the trust can be established sooner or faster, and that can work probably for a lot of people, you know, better than trying to reach them on emails.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you, Mix.
Sure.
Am I pronouncing your name right? Mix, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks.
Right. I think the next question is very similar. What's the proven offer to reach out to Kairos? Anybody wants to jump and say something about that? But also keep in mind we're running out of time and we still have a lot of questions to cover. So I think it's very related to the previous one. It's basically showing them a case study, or show them how it's done. Billie Jean's actually showed us exactly what to show. Let's see. Testimonial sounds great.
Yeah, and you guys have about 20 more minutes from me.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're moving quicker. Refer to the downloads. Yes. Okay. So I believe Billie Jean explained to us what to use, so I'll just keep that question. What's the fastest way to get a hold of a prospect? Looks like mix approach is the fastest. You just go in there.
And what we can do too to get through some of the questions a little bit faster is maybe as I'm unlocking everything for like everybody can see the chat. Not everybody has to be unmiked. So maybe just have everybody ask if they want to be unmiked for something specifically, but just leave it to the chat for now, just to get through more.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So the fastest way to get a hold of a prospect. Anybody wants to jump on this one? Tracy said emails, and we already heard how it's done. She believes that's the fastest. You just send in the comfort of your home, automate as much as possible, use the system, and let them contact you. Let's see here. Does anyone have any stuff? Kipling will come to that. There is questions about the dinners, workshop dinners. It was not covered yet. Okay, so yes, emails. Next question. Yes, that's really just consistency. So emails and being consistent with it, that's the fastest way. My biggest issue overall, that's the next question, with all the types of clients is finding people that can actually handle the business. One that have a Salesforce implemented and are ready to actually scale. They say they are, but no one yet has been good and ready for it. Personally, I also had experience with that. If you saw the interview with Billy, I was so focused and excited about the video and launching everything that I totally missed that they had to have a outbound follow-up system. Because traditional advertising or referrals, people usually, doctors usually get calls, so they get the patients coming to the office. They're not used to doing outbound. And because I missed all that, all my efforts, over 100 leads that I generated, when I came excited to a doctor expecting him to hug me, they actually told me, your leads do not work. And later, when I was on the call with Billy, I realized that's what was the problem. The problem was they didn't have a system in place to follow up on the leads. As soon as they gave me a girl who was doing follow-ups, they were booking appointments and started to make money to the point where they gave me the second office right now, which I'm starting next week. So let's see. Anybody wants to add to this? Okay, Tracy. Tracy, you want to jump in? Let's see. Okay, Tracy, you're unmuted.
And I am not a professional in this, you guys. I just started July 1st, so I'm learning, okay? But I do this full time, so I have time to do a lot of trial and error, so I just want to throw it out there because you keep unmuting me. But I think...
I see the messages, so I think you have good message here.
It's okay. I appreciate that. But I learned this from one of the strategy calls that Billie Jean has done. But ask them, how many new patients can your office handle in a week? Don't even ask in a month, because in a month they get, how your eyes are bigger than your stomach, so they're like, oh man, I can handle 100 new patients in a month, and that might be impossible. So I just asked, how many new patients can you handle in 1 week? And most of them are saying like between 8 to 10 patients. Well, if we know the numbers, okay, if I can deliver even 20 leads in a week, right, then I know out of that 20, 10 are probably going to book appointments. And then out of that 10, maybe 5 are going to come in for appointments. So maybe you'll do 30 or 40 leads in a week. So take control of the campaign, slow it down, pause it when you need to, so that you won't have 100 leads coming in a week or 2 weeks if you know that their office cannot handle it. Because just like you said, they'll flip it on you and act like, oh, your leads are not good, they're not working. But the reality of it is they just can't handle all the volume that they're getting. And so, but the reality of it is they just can't handle all the volume. And pause when you need to pause. So if, like right now I'm averaging like maybe 10 leads a day for my one chiropractor, and so I don't run the ad every day. So I'm only running it like 3 days out the week, and so that way we can control the volume that he's getting. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, totally makes sense. Anybody else wants to add? Thank you, Tracy.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you might want to. Yeah, I can't talk. Oh my God. You might want to unmute Jerry here, because he's actually a chiropractor, so he can kind of help you guys out as far as what to do, what to say, that kind of stuff.
Oh, perfect. Hi, Jerry.
Hey, how you doing?
Thank God. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, I've been listening to everybody, and it's going great, guys. Um, and you've got it nailed down, because if you do set up a campaign for somebody and they just get inundated with patients, it's not going to be a pretty sight for anybody. And so you have to make sure that um, that the chiropractic clinic can take on the patients, but that all has to do with your preset. So when you're working with them, like you said, how many can you handle? And then even then, you need to make sure that they really can, because there are some clinics that have no clue how to follow up with somebody that calls in. And so they may be getting a great lead, but if they have no concept on how to maintain and contact and turn that lead into a new patient themselves, then they have a practice management issue.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
And then also in the if you guys haven't seen it, I made a video about getting through the gatekeeper and trying to get to the chiropractor, but also some things to educate the chiropractor on. And just even that can be part of one of the emails that you send out if you do multiple emails. But it is, what's your case visit average? What percentage of your annual case visit average do you use for your marketing? Are you a 10% marketer, or you do aggressive 15%? And if so, how much is that? What is that per month? But also, you guys are in a unique position where you can say, how about if I, send you 2, 3, 4 new patients, no charge, so you can see the quality of the patient. And like you've been saying, there's no catches, no credit cards. I'm not an agency. And if you are, you can say, I'm a person in your area, and this is just a great product that I want to help you build your practice with.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
that was most helpful video. Yeah, go for it.
Jerry, are you comfortable with me putting that in the camp module? That video that you created?
Sure.
Okay, cool. I just didn't want to put it in there without your approval. So I could put it in there with the campaign downloads under the chiropractor section. I'll add that video in there.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
It's a great video. Very informational. For sure, it lets you go in and talk their language of chiropractors.
Yeah, and I'd be more than happy to answer anybody's questions if they wanted to send them my way offline too, and go through Bruce if you want to do that too.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
So Stephanie Blake offered to continue hosting the webinar since I got to get off. If you want to try to coordinate something with Stephanie, and then you guys can go ahead and continue going, so you don't have to cut off just because of me.
Let me ask you this: if you disconnect, we all gonna get disconnected. Can you just leave the computer on, and I'll whenever it's done, I'll just close the session?
Well, I'm on my computer at work, and I can't really run the things that I need to run. Like I need to run Photoshop and Camtasia and stuff like that, and the GoToWebinar isn't really happy with my PC and all those other programs are completely lagging.
Since you made me a co-organizer, they don't have option where the session you disconnect, but the session should continue running.
No, because I'm the original. I'm the original organizer
because
I'm the one that created it. Yeah, so you guys will have to switch over to Stephanie's webinar if you guys want to continue going.
I do. Anybody else?
And
Everybody wants to, because we didn't even touch half of the stuff that's here.
And what you could do is you can put Stephanie, if you want to post that link in the Facebook group, and so everybody can kind of jump on there and say that you're going to do the second half of the webinar. And Ty, if you can convince Billy to buy the entire Office Max, that would be amazing.
Okay, so we're all going to go to Facebook and get the latest, or Stephanie will post it here, and we'll just copy paste.
Stephanie's going to post it in the Facebook group. I think she pasted it here as well. But let me just see if she posted it yet in the Facebook group. Don't see it there yet, but let me see. I think she posted it in here.
Also, everybody's questions, the log of all the questions, it will be saved also, or we're going to lose all that?
I mean, it's formatted kind of weird with GoToWebinar, where like if somebody types a bunch of times, it's like a long Excel spreadsheet. I could definitely send that to you, but it's just a matter of like formatting it differently and putting it through Access or something to get it readable. And Stephanie just posted in the Facebook group too, so everybody has that link.
Perfect. Okay, got it. All right, so we'll continue, and everybody will dial in with whatever Stephanie posted.
All right, sounds great. Sorry, guys.